Hey, hello everyone. Welcome back to Virtual Lab Infra once again in my ongoing Proxmox training series. Today's session we are going to download the Proxmox virtual environment ISO images, and then we will install the hypervisor and we will create the first virtual machine today. So without wasting more time, let's get us started. So you'll have to open your browser, any browser, and search for proxmox.com. You'll have to go to downloads and download the Proxmox VE installer. So this is the ISO image. We are going to install it on our VMware Workstation. You have to click on download. So it will get us started. So downloading will get us started. Since I already have a downloaded files, so I'm not gonna download it. So this is the Proxmox 9.1 that I'm using for my lab environment. You can still download this 9.2, the latest version, and you can use it. It is almost same. So on my VMware Workstation, let me tell you, I had already configured domain controller server. This domain controller is responsible for authentication, your user accounts, or your security group, your DNS resolution, or DSCP DSCP scopes. So that is why I have a domain controller, and the domain name is virtuallabinfra.com. So with help of this server, I'll be able to communicate with my Proxmox hypervisors, and whatever VM I will be creating, they will get the IP addresses from this domain controller, as this domain controller is also DHCP server. If you want to see how to configure DHCP, add a DS role, how domain controller we have promoted, you can watch my Windows Server training series. There you will have the first or second session where I have covered everything. So without wasting more time, guys, once this DC domain controller server is up, we will quickly go ahead and install the Proxmox virtual environment ISO image on our workstation. So whenever you are installing any of the VMs on workstation, make sure the network connectivity selected as breached, or else you will not able to communicate with each other. So the VMs will not communicate each other until unless we select the breached network connection. So here onwards, whatever VM we will create, will select the network connection setting as breached connection. Also, for Proxmox, the prerequisite if I talk about, that would be a 4 gig of RAM and 2 CPU will be more than enough. Where in our VMware ESXi, we actually used to give more than 4. And sometime when you install a vCenter server on that ESXi host, it actually needs 12 gig of memory. But in Proxmox, actually, it's even if you have a less configuration or less resource, you can still build your environment without any issues. So let's quickly check the configuration that I have given for my first domain controller, which is my primary domain controller. So as you can see, my domain shows as virtuallabinfra.com. So I'll be using this domain for my all lab environment. So we'll quickly verify the configuration of this server, what is the IP that we have provided, and what are the DHCP scope we have. And then quickly we will install uh, Proxmox on it, and then we will try to access from the browser and create a first virtual machines. So if you go to server manager, so this is my first primary domain controller. If you look at here in local server, so this is This server WinDC0 is nothing but Windows domain controller, the first domain controller server, domain in virtuallabinfra.com. I have assigned static IP to the server. Let me show you that. So this is the IP range and subnet I'm using, 192.168.1.10. So 10, 11, 12, 13 series would be a static IP that I'm going to use. Let me make it as same DNS. So 192.168.1.10 is my domain controller IP, and the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. Default gateway is 192.168.1.1, and I'm gonna use this server as domain DNS server as well. So that would be the same IP again. Click OK. So this is the networking configuration of my lab environment, guys. And as you can see, I have installed ADDS, DHCP, and DNS. So now my domain controller is now has Active Directory installed, DHCP scope available, and DNS services are running. So DNS, I have already configured forward lookup zone and reverse lookup zone. If you want to know how to configure from starting, you can refer again my Windows Server training series. So if you go to forward lookup zone, I had created few more DNS entries that you will be able to see here. So these are the my old entries. So that is what, like, this server is going to be responsible for DNS and also DHCP. So DHCP scope, if you want to see. So since this series is completely dedicated to virtualization of our Proxmox, so I'm not gonna take more time on these configurations. I'll just show you the overview. What exactly, how exactly these IPs and DNS are getting, connected or work each other on the VMs when we create the new virtual machines. So these are the, let me delete this. So these are the some older DHCP IPs that has been assigned to my VMs. So these are the address pool that I have given 100 to 150. So now whenever I'll be creating a VMs, it will assign IP within this range, 100 to 150, wherein my static IPs are 192, 168, 10. So that's the difference, guys. So static IP I have given on the 10 series, and the DHCP IP will be 100 to 150. So that is the scope I have created. So let's get created our first virtual environment of Proxmox. So it's a simple. You have to before that, let me tell you one more thing. So your laptop should have at least 12 to 16 GB of memory. Even if you have 10 gig of memory available, you can make this lab working without any issues. So for this domain controller, I have given. Okay, I can show you from here. So I have given 2.5 gig of memory, which is 2.4, which is available to processor. 50 gig of hard storage is more than enough for our domain controller. Now I'm gonna create the first. You, you have to click on new virtual machine. So VMware Workstation, you can find it on Google in browser. You can type VMware Workstation Pro, and you can download it from there. It's freely available, and I'm using VMware Workstation 17 Pro. So this is the latest version of VMware Workstation, guys. If you have a MacBook, you can use VirtualBox as well. For Windows, you can use Workstation, VMware Workstation. So let it be the default one. Select next. Installer disk. Select the ISO image, clicking on Browse, and the Proxmox that we had downloaded ISO image. So by default, it is selecting VMware ESXS, which is a VMware hypervisor actually. So uh, you need to select this ESX. and you can select any latest version of it. Later on, you can change the name while installing it. So click on next. Here, where you want to keep this virtual machine files that I want to keep it on different disks. If you want, you can keep it on the C drive itself. That is up to you. Since I have created a separate folder for it called VMware files do not touch, so that my all the VMware files will be available here. So I'm gonna create a new folder here for Proxmox 1. Proxmox 1, and I'm gonna keep everything on the single file. So whatever VM or any uh, configuration will create, the individual files will be also stay in the single folder. So that is why I'm selecting store virtual disk as a single file. 142 actually it's not needed. You can keep it as 100 also, but I have enough space, so I'm gonna keep 142. Click on next. So by default it has taken some configuration, but you can still customize them. So memory, I have selected 4 gig of memory. Processor 2, that is the prerequisite of this Proxmox. Close, finish. As I said, since we are going to use this, sorry. So yeah, this is the one. So let's rename it just for our understanding. So I'm gonna give Proxmox 1. This is going to be a first node. Node is nothing but host. So let's power it on. Yes, and we have to make sure this BM is set to breached connection. So breached connection it will work as a uh, the physical LAN connectivity. So let's select the breached one. So the moment you start power on your Proxmox virtual environment, you will see this. You have to click on here and hit enter. Here you can see welcome to Proxmox VE 9.1. Since we had enabled bridge network, so it has taken IP address by default, but since it is a hypervisor and it's a critical server going to be, so we'll set the IP address static. So keep it in your mind whenever you are configuring any server, any critical server, never give DHCP IP. Instead, you can use a static IP so that the IP address will never change, and uh, it will be useful. It will be helpful when somebody wants to connect the server even after a long time. Because in DHCP case, if your server reboots or you change any settings, your IP will get changed, and then the connectivity you may lose the connectivity. So by default, it has taken the since I have created only one disk, so it has taken by default that disk. Click on next. So here you'll have to select the country. So in my case, I'm gonna select India, and it'll take the time zone automatically. Keyword layout is US is fine for me. I'm gonna click next. You'll have to set the root password here. So make sure, guys, this Proxmox user account will be root by default, and password you have to create. Once you confirm your password, you will have to give a real email ID. So by default, it has selected, as I said, this server, the hypervisor was selected as bridge network, so it was able to get the IP address from DHCP. So from DHCP pool, it has given IP as 101 and the default gateway 1.1 and DNS server, our DHCP server IP. As I said, we should give the static IP, so we'll be giving a static IP from this range itself. And you can give any of the naming convention I'm going to use is PBE node 1 dot virtuallabinfra.com. So as I said, for static IP, I'm going to use uh, 10 series. So I'm going to use, let's use 11, 12, and 13. So I'm going to use 11. For second Proxmox, I will use 12, and for third, I will use 13. That's what my plan here. So gateway will be same, and DNS server is going to be 1.10, same. Click on next. So this is the summary page of Proxmox VE installer. So by default, the disk has selected as DOSDA, country, time zone, your email ID, your NIC card was selected as 0. Host name would be pv-node-1. Everything looks good. Click on install. Your server is going to automatically reboot. That was selected automatically. So let it complete. So once this installation is complete, we will open a browser and we will use the same IP address and we'll try to access this Proxmox on GUI browser. So this is almost completed, guys. So if you can see in the Proxmox VE cluster page, it says Proxmox VE. You can join multiple physical server to one VE cluster, and you can uh, a multi-master cluster. It eliminates a single point of failures. This is going to be a central management and Proxmox cluster file system. So this is a enterprise level. Even though you are doing a lab, you can explore everything, how exactly it is in enterprise environment. So installation was successful. We haven't get any error or anything. So the server was the option was selected as rebooting automatically, so it started rebooting. Once the reboot is completed, we should be uh, able to access it from browser. So by default, Proxmox port number is 8006. So we'll have to type in the IP address of this Proxmox and slash, sorry, colon 8006. Then only you'll able to access this Proxmox. So while this installation, okay, so it's asking for login. Let's log in first. So we by default user account would be root and the password that we have created. I'm gonna type in the password. So as you can see, now I am in root account password logged in already. So now we are good to go accessing this URL, which is https 192.168.1.11 colon 8006 from any of the browser. Now these two VMs are communicating with each other. Whether you can go to this server and the browser can access this Proxmox using this URL, or if you want to access it from your laptop itself, we can do that as well. So it's very simple. Sorry. So on your laptop, go to network setting. On the Wi-Fi NIC card, go to properties. I'm gonna select the same IP range on my laptop. That's what I'm going to do, so that you can able to communicate from your laptop as well. I'm gonna give 5. So 1.1 is my default gateway and the DNS is 192.168.1.10. Oh, click on yes. Okay, so this IP we have already given to on any other network NIC card, so we will give something else. Let's give 8 this time. Yeah, it has been selected. I'm gonna just test it whether I'm able to ping this or not. So this is the IP. So it's 11. Sorry, you'll have to type in ping. So I'm able to communicate from my laptop itself. So now I'm gonna open the Google browse and open HTTPS 192.168.1.11 and port number is 8006. Hit enter. So as you can see, so this is uh, a certificate error. You can click on advanced and click on proceed to continue with this IP address. So first thing first, we'll have to log in with the root account again and the password. So this is the warning message for subscription. As we know that we have not taken any subscription and it's this is for lab demo. So click on OK. So our first node is now ready. So once you expand this PV node 01, here is the local PV node 1 where we will have ISO image, then container templates, the permissions, this. So to create any virtual machines, definitely we would need ISO images. You cannot, like how we have installed from VMware Workstation, from our locally, the ISO image was available. In VMware hypervisor, hypervisor, we have to upload the image file first, and then you can install the virtual machine. So I'm gonna upload the first ISO image here. My ISO images are in my D drive. So this is server 19 OS image I have. So ISO image I have. Let me upload this first. So the ISO image is uploaded. Click on close. Just refresh this page. So as we can see, we have ISO image available. Now we will create our first virtual machine with help of this ISO image. This is server 19. So we're gonna create a Windows Server VM. So you can directly click on create VM. You can right click here in the node. You can right click on here. You can create VM from here itself. So let's click on create VM. So the node is PV node 1. So by default, it will take VM IDs when you create virtual machines. So it start with 100. So second VM will be 101 and then 2, 3 like that. VM name you can give as Win 2K19 BM01. So since we don't have other nodes, so we don't need HA right now. So click next. OS, we'll have to select the ISO file. Type would be Windows. This is fine because we have already selected ISO image. Click on next. Select the storage, the local storage, local. Everything looks good. Click on next. Disk it is selected automatically. Click on next. CPU, we're gonna give one socket each. So one core, one socket. That would be fine, I believe. Click on next. Memory, we can give some around, it's showing 4 GB. We don't need that much. We're gonna give 1500 just because it's a lab environment. Click on next. So network by default it has taken BMBR. So virtual LAN, no LAN, firewall, it's enabled. So this is the default settings. Keep it as it is. Click on finish. So as you can see, VM100 is the ID, and disk size automatically it has taken 32 GB. Per as per your requirement, you can change it whenever you need, or you can add extra. We have given one CPU. I feel we can give two CPU, I believe. Let's memory is fine, but processor we should give something more. So let's keep it as two. Click OK. Right. Let's now in the summary page you will see the usage of this VM. In the console page you will be able to see your VM screen. So let's click on start now and begin the. So here after it's simple as we install our Windows servers or Windows operating systems. So it will take some time. So now the OS is selected and it's started loading. Click on next, install. So this is the task. This is the task details. You'll see whatever task you are performing from latest to old. In the cluster level, you can find the log details, like what log has been generated during your activity. Also, when you create another node, you can join them as I said in my first overview video. So when you go to cluster, so you have an option called join cluster. So we'll talk about that later on the next session when we create another node and we will try to join them and we'll see from one console how we can manage all the clusters, all the hosts. So let's complete this installation. So I'm going to select a standard, click on next. Accept the terms license, click on next. You can skip this process as we all know how to install our operating systems. So I'm gonna pause this video here. Once this installation is completed, we'll resume this for further. So it is almost done. We'll just quickly see how can log in and how we can join the domain of our first virtual machine Proxmox environment, virtual environment. So as per your configuration, it depends, guys. So if you have a good configuration you have given, because we have given only 2 gig of memory. So if you're gonna give more like 8 gig or 4 gig, it'll be faster. So for lab practice or lab environment, it is uh, I think quite good. We can use it 2 gigs so that we can create multiple VMs. And also, if you have any doubt during this lab, while you are performing this lab, do let me know. You can ping in the comment box. I'll definitely help you resolving those issues. And also, if your friends or any colleagues who are interested, you share with them and enable the notification so that you won't miss any of the upcoming videos. So I'm gonna pause this video now. We'll be back once this installation is completed. The VM installation is completed and VM is ready now. So this is the local account. We need to create the password. Sorry. So the steps are very simple. You'll have to install the PV installer, which is our Proxmox virtual environment. Assign the IP addresses. Browse it using 8006 port number. Upload the ISO image to the node on local PV ISO image and create the virtual machine using that ISO image. So once the VM is ready, you'll have to join. You'll have to do the domain join, and then you can use that VM. So let's log in our first VM. So similarly, you can create multiple VMs here. You can create Linux machines. You can create Windows Server machines. You can also create containers if you are interested on container kind of resources. So let's join the domain as well. So we are able to communicate with domain controller. So the first VM is our first VM is ready now, and so few things you'll have to do. So you'll need to check whether you are able to ping this machine or not. So let's rename the host name also. So we're gonna give the same name Win2K19 BM01. 2K19 BM01. and the domain is virtuallabinfra.com. Proxmox. So this has been successfully, domain has been joined. Welcome to virtuallabinfra.com. We'll have to close this and it will get restarted. So since we have joined, I have completed the domain join. Okay, no issue. So domain join is completed. Now we should be able to see the computer object here. So now the computer object has been appearing here, and you can see the operating system details. And also you can see when, so sometime you want to see when the computer was created, you can go to view, select advanced features, then you can see this option, objects. So you will see the timing and when it was created. So that's fine. So let's move this computer object to our member server, where we are keeping only member servers here. Yes. So now I have few member server here. Some old entries are there. So this is the new VM that we have created. So this part is done, and we can confirm the IP address. As I said, it's a 106 IP. Okay. So VM is booting up. So similarly, you can create multiple of VMs and you can manage them, even though if it is in a different cluster. Once you join this nodes to the cluster, you should be able to manage them from single console. So let's log in and just verify it. So I'm gonna use the same Proxmox account, admin account, to log in this VM. So as you can see now, the domain name is been appearing. Here you go. Our first VM is ready and we are able to access it without any issue. So that's all, guys. This is what I wanted to show you, the installation and downloading and installation of this Proxmox, creating first virtual machine, which is completed now successfully. If you enjoying this video or series, give a like, comment, subscribe to my channel, share with your colleagues and friends, and enable the notification so that you will not miss any of the videos, upcoming videos. Till then, have a great day. Bye bye. See you in the next video.